it'll Hello everyone and welcome to TTFL round 19. This is tier 1. We've got 9 drivers tonight, so short quali. So it could be short and sweet. Whilst we are loading in, I will put the drivers' stand-ins up on screen. Cornicus with a commanding lead. 92 points clear of Rapid in second. Elder in a tight battle for the second spot with Rapid, but no Rapid tonight, so Elder's got every opportunity to capitalise and take the lead in that battle for second. Frenzy in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Jake in sixth, Panda in seventh, Sesvin in eighth, Mrs. Carl in ninth, Speedy in 10th, no Speedy tonight though. Scotty in 11th will have get to the end and he'll jump Speedy into 10th, Sing in 12th, Josh in 13th, Binner in 14th, Stilled in 15th, Cons in 16th, Art in 17th and Loki in 18th. And in the constructors stand-ins, I get a feeling McLaren have all but tied that up. For the constructors title, Ferrari in second, 41 points ahead of Alpine in third, Aston in fourth, Red Bull in fifth, Haas in sixth, Mercedes in seventh, AlphaTauri in eighth, Alfa Romeo in ninth and Williams in 10th. So let's get the screens set up. That one, that one. So I need to post the links as well. That's on the wrong screen. God, that looks like Panda on their way out. Why is my audio being Every week, audio plays up. No, audio does seem right for that feed. That's not right, no. Go back to that. Go to that. Go to that. No, I don't want you to launch it. Yeah, I don't want you to launch it because that is installed now. Hide that. That one. So Panda is now on his lap. I've missed the start of Pandas as he's gone through the new layout for Sector 2. Heading now towards turn 13. One of the awkward ones to get the braking right and actually carry the speed through nicely, but Panda looks to have got that set up nicely. Turn game sound down. Where has my mouse gone? Here, there you are. So Panda does a 19.4. Game sound down somewhat. Audio, Hobo. Hopefully that's better for you. Jump on board with Scotty. 26.9 through Sector 1. Showing the purple Sector 1. I didn't see what Panda's Sector 1 time was. 44.7 through Sector 2. Scotty's looking to have the car under great control. Heading down to 13. Takes as much as the curb as he can. Gets away with running a little wide there. It's a final corner and the DRS open, and it's a long drag up the straight. Crosses the line, an 18.1 for Scotty. Takes him into first place. Hobo's done. I don't know why. I don't want gap. I just want best. Fastest lap. We go a 19.4 for Hobo. Chronicus starting their first lap. 26.9 through Sector 1. Chronicus looking to capitalise on the low turnout to completely cement that lead. Looking forward to F1 with the improved graphics, where they've toned the colours to be a bit more realistic. And the improved handling will make a big difference to league racing. Clornicus heads to the line, a 17.9 from Clornicus, so only 2/10 up on Scotty on that first run. Scotty in the pits. Loki's done a 19.7, taking him into 5th. Mrs. Cole currently on a 19.8. Elder and Cake are holding fire in the pits. So no improvement from Mrs. Cole. Old tyre run for Elder. Must have gone for an outlap that I missed. And then puts a bit of extra wear on by going through the gravel. Hopefully not suffering with stick drift again this week. Good opportunity to take that second place in the standings. Let's get my track map open. That's turned 11, I've been calling 13. It used to be 13, that's why. So it's round the final corner now for Elder as he starts his timed run. Crosses the line. Passing through 1 and 2. DRS open for the run down towards turn 3. Very tidy so far. 27.0 through sector 1, so not the fastest. This is on a used set of tyres. Red Bull of Mrs. Cole just ahead, who is pushing. So through turn 11. Now through the final corner for Elder. DRS open, it's just that drag to the line. An 18.4 takes him into 3rd, so there is still time to gain on a fresh set of tyres. So waiting for a weather update from someone. Scotty's invalidated his current lap. Got the fuel and the ERS to go for another one. That is pushing now. Hobo's invalidated. What's we got on the track? Panda into the pits. Oh, I was going to say we'll stay with Scotty, but Scotty's invalidated this one as well. So that'll be Scotty back into the pits. Hobo will be into the pits for some more fuel. Elder's out of fuel. Frenzy in the pit. Thornicus on an outlap. So we'll stay with Thornicus, see if he can find improvement over that 17.9. So just misses Carl on an outlap. Scotty will be coming into the pits. So no traffic at the minute. Going to be getting in Thornicus's way. Dry race. Thank you, Elder. I'd have thought the league admin, or the league owner, would have given me a weather update rather than just moaning about the audio, but you know. Can't expect everything. So Thornicus starting his next timed run, heads up towards turn 1, gets the braking nicely through turn 2, DRS open on the run towards turn 3. I do love seeing the sparks flying off the back of these cars. Safely through 4 and 5, heading up to the kink of 6. 26.8 through sector 1, so a 10th up already. Evening T, how are you doing? Now, apparently around a corner that has no number. Nearly 2/10 up through sector 2 for Thornicus. Heads down towards turn 11. Can he find it any more in sector 3? Yeah, I'm not too bad. And a fairly relaxing, I say relaxing. Oh, Thornicus invalidates coming through turn 12 there. So ends up running a little bit wide, so he'll be back into the pits to try again. Had a fairly relaxed week. A very easy Tuesday. To be fair, a very easy Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. Unfortunately, though, I have got to work tomorrow. But it'll pay off in the end. We'll say with Mrs. Carlin's pits. On and out, that hobo coming to the end. No, that's great coming to start their first lap. It's got Frenzy just ahead, who's just come out of the pits. I'm sure Frenzy will be aware and keep well out of the way. As Jake heads down towards turn 3. And Frenzy does yield so as not to cause a problem. 27.6 for Jake through sector 1. Through turn 8 and the unnumbered left-hander. Into turn 11. Panda's Panda's out on the exit of 2. Hopefully that's not going to affect anyone who's coming through that sector. Looks like there was a Red Bull coming through. May well have been Scotty. So 120.041 for Jake. I think that was Mrs. Carl on her outlap who went past Panda's car. He's starting his lap. Got anyone actually on the lap? Takes things in. Hobo invalidated that previous lap, so he's going to have another attempt at it. It's going to be tight on fuel. Scotty won't be improving on this lap, going backwards on the run down towards turn 4. Does get the car turned around though. Hasn't picked up any damage, other than a bit of pride. Oh. If he can nurse the fuel round, he'll be able to get another lap in. So I'll jump back to Hobo. So they make their way through turn 8. Scotty is just ahead. Hobo goes very wide on the exit of 10, but doesn't invalidate. Scotty yields to allow Hobo through. So we'll be opening for a bit of a tow, I'm guessing, down the start finish straight. Hobo through 13 and bailing on the lap. Scotty bailing as well. So Elder a 10th up through sector 1. He's find another couple of tenths to jump Hobo and Scotty to get to that front row of the starting grid. Nearly 3 tenths up through sector 2. Find a little bit in the final sector, and that'll definitely be not definite anymore. Loki with a 17.965 takes provisional pole. What can Elder do? Out in the final corner now, DRS open, run to the line. 17.8 for Elder, so Elder into provisional pole. Chronicus into the pits. Drake's invalidated his current lap, so that is Elder on pole. Pulled that lap out of nowhere. Great final sector there. 3 tenths. He was on there. 18.4. Found nearly 3 tenths in the final sector. Oh, that's everything falling off the fridge. It's on 70%. Be alright. Open the fridge to get a drink. Don't forget to drink. So confirmation, Elder takes the pole with a 17.835. Loki takes second, will be starting alongside on a 17.964. Chronicus in third on a 17.9. Hobo in fourth on an 18.1. Scotty in fifth on an 18.1. Panda in sixth on an 18.6. Mrs. Cole seventh on an 18.8. Cake in eighth on a 20.0. And Frenzy in ninth on a 21.8. Look at this game. Track limits suck. Didn't even go off track. Yeah, track limits are horrendous. I've seen invalidated laps for what looks like a non-extension, and then I've seen people extend massively and the game just ignore it. There's no consistency track to track, which I think makes it worse. could just be implemented. It's the white line. The white line denotes track limits. If you cross it with all four wheels, then it's a warning or a lap invalidated. I could just stick with that for every track, the way they could do in real life as well, rather than say, oh, you can run the curb on that one, the track limits at the outside of the curb. If that's the case, paint the line so it goes to the outside of the curb. So 29 laps. Let's see what tyre everyone's gone for. It is a mix. Elder and Loki going for the hard, Thornicus and Hobo on the medium, Scotty on the hard, Panda on the medium, Mrs. Cole, Jake and Frenzy all on the hards. With 9 drivers, chances of a safety car are reduced, but it's not unheard of. It wasn't merged because Tier 2 had 12, we originally had 11 for Tier 1. It would have been 10, but Cons has got a poorly child this evening, so that dropped us down. Sorry, it was 11. Cons with the poorly child drops us down to 10, and then Binner's not made it into the lobby. But with Frenzy joining during quali, that put us up to 9. So the numbers didn't work out, unfortunately. I thought it looked a very early not parking properly there, Elder. Oh, give me a better camera angle. All the way at the back of the grid. We're not going to see the start from here. I've got to look at the last place. There we go. So Thornicus getting the move done on Loki and on Elder. Elder going very deep into turn 1. Loki looking to come around the outside down towards turn 3. Hobo trying to find his way past Elder as well. Elder struggling a bit on those hard tyres against the medium runners, but fighting back wheel to wheel with Hobo round turn 4. I think that was 4. So Elder losing out to Hobo, so dropping down into 4th off the start. Scotty challenging up the inside as well. I wonder if Elder's tyres have overheated after running on the grass. Don't look to have. So just needs to settle down, get into the rhythm of the track. Thornicus has opened over a second on Loki already in the first lap. So it's broken the DRS. Loki under a bit of pressure from Hobo in 3rd. As they come on to the start-finish straight now. No DRS this time around. Making their way through turn 1. Hobo still on the back of Loki. Elder trying to close up on Scotty to start clawing back some of those positions he lost off the start. Mrs. Carl and Panda in their own little battle over 6th place. These are our drivers that came up from Tier 2 last season. Definitely showing that there isn't that much pace difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2. If anything, it's more a consistency thing. Tier 1 drivers getting involved in, I'd say, less incidents. Able just to maintain a pace cleanly through the race. Hobo looking to make the most of those medium tyres as a better drive out of the final corner, heading down towards turn 1, looking up the inside of Loki, and does get the move done without DRS as well. DRS is enabled this lap, but they won't have it until the run towards turn 11. Loki not wanting to give the place up, trying to find a way back past into turn 3. Hobo using the advantage of that medium tyre, getting better drive out of the corners, trying to go in pursuit of Shaunicus, who's got a 2-second lead, so he's clear from the DRS. But Hobo is closing that down. Elder all over the back of Scotty as they head towards turn 9. So we'll have DRS out of turn 10. Scotty getting the DRS from Loki is going to help him defend as they head towards turn 11. Elder not able to get the move done there, but Scotty is closing in on Loki, even with Loki having the DRS on Hobo. Hobo's taking a 10th out of Thornicus at the moment, but he is giving DRS to this train behind him. They head through turn 1 and 2. Hobo extending that gap over Loki. Loki not really able to close up with the DRS. But Hobo keeps pushing. He'll break the DRS to Loki. It's taken another 10th out of that gap to Thornicus. And Thornicus is just managing his pace to try and push those mediums as far as possible. Elder right on the back of Scotty again as they make their way round turn 8. Through the chicane in 9 and 10. A little bit of a slide from the back end of Elder's car has dropped him off of Scotty a little as Hobo's been round. So Hobo drops down into 9th, not showing any damage. I think he might have just caught it on the curb and unsettled the car, and then tandem spin for both Alpines, almost synchronised. So both Alpines now at the back of the pack. This will give Hobo DRS, help him stay with his teammate, but they've got quite a bit of work to do to try and close up now. They're 12 and a half seconds back off of Frenzy. It's giving Thornicus a bit more breathing space out in front. Loki still with Scotty and Elder behind. Elder will be desperate to get past Scotty just to capitalise on the lack of rapid tonight. Try and gain as many points to cement second or secure second place. This is Carl and Panda have swapped places, so Panda's got past Mrs. Carl. Frenzy only 1.4 off the back of this battle. Panda's broken the DRS. Oh, not quite. Miss Cole did pick up the DRS at the detection point, so it's going to help her close back in to Panda as we head down to turn 3. This battle over second still going. Scotty and Elder holding position. Loki running wide on the exit of turn 5. Managing to keep it under control. He ran over that curb. Now through 8, sorry. Elder closes into Scotty. It does gain under DRS. The double toe effect is almost on the rear diffuser of that Red Bull. As they come into turn 13. Needs to get a good drive out of here. Losing a small amount of time, there's fractions of a second. Gains it on the corner exit. Scott is in that Red Bull. The DRS is very effective. I think Scotty is just dropping out the DRS of Loki. Looking in his mirrors at where Elder's placing his car. It's costing Scotty a little this lap. It is going to make him vulnerable. Elder sticking in the slipstream all the way through turn 8. Scotty won't have the DRS this time around to defend. Can Elder find a way past down towards turn 11? Can't this time around. Scotty runs very wide on the exit, which does allow Elder through, so that's Elder up into 3rd. Needs to be aware Scotty will be trying to close that gap back up. He'll have the DRS this time around. So Loki with the fastest lap of 1:22 flat. Loki starting to reel in Thornicus. Frenzy up to the back of Mrs. Carl. So go through turn 4. Frenzy well within the DRS. Let's get some telemetry on. Frenzy with 94% ERS available. Mrs. Carl on 60. So Frenzy's got the ERS advantage and he will get DRS this time around when they come out of turn 10. Will he be able to find a way past with the DRS? Will he try and wait until they head down the start-finish straight where it's more effective? Elder trying to close in towards Loki, but he's got Scotty behind with the DRS. First yawn of the evening. Scotty not able to find his way past on Elder, and Frenzy still stuck behind Mrs. Cole. And costing Frenzy a little as he tries to make his way through the order. It's 2 seconds off of Panda now, stuck behind Mrs. Cole. Hobo's managed to get past his teammate. So he's dropped 14 seconds to Hobo. So I wonder if Jake had another spin. But still with quite a bit of time to find to close up on these front pack. Just see Scotty not able to find a way through with the DRS. Can Frenzy do anything against Mrs. Cole down towards turn 11? And Hobo's out on the exit of turn 10. So what side of the track's that thrown him? It's thrown him on to the right hand side of the track, so that is a safety car out. Thornicus managing to get out, get ahead of the safety car before it came out of the pits. This game's handling is disgusting. Yes, it is, Hobo. But the good news is 23 has a whole new handling model. And it feels so much better, as you very well know. So, lap 10. Will we see Thornicus into the pits? Now, for those who weren't able to take part in the original beta, the... Oh, what's the date today? 12th. Let me go into my email and see when the closing date for the sign up for the second beta is. Yay, close beta sign up. Registration is open. You've got until 10 AM UK time on May the 16th. So head to the EA playtesting website to sign up and register your interest for the 23 beta. And if you got access to the original beta release, although I had an email saying you don't need to re-register, I did re-register my interest to try and secure every opportunity to play it again. Offside, was stuck at half. Oh, that's annoying. That's very annoying. So Thornicus did come into the pits, as did pretty much everyone bar Mrs. Cole and Jake. So Mrs. Cole currently in the lead under the safety car. Thornicus in second, Loki in third, Elder in fourth, Scotty in fifth, Panda in sixth, Frenzy in seventh, Jake in 8th, and our first DNF was Hobo. Hopefully our only DNF. It didn't even make it to 90% race distance, so no points for Hobo. Until I turn the controller off and on around sector 2. I'll explain your car's slower pace at the very start then. I can't wait to see how red flags actually work in 23. I watched their little deep dive video yesterday saying it monitors track conditions and stopped cars and the like. But how that will work in actual online races, yet to see. It's not been discussed by any of the admins yet, but I'm guessing it will be set to the immersive red flag settings, the same as safety car and formation lap. So if a red flag is called, you will have to make your way back to the pits under your own control. Obviously, if you can make your way back to the pits, if you're the car that calls the red flag, you'll be stuck in a wall somewhere. I also want to know what damage is actually going to be repairable, because they said up to a degree, so I'm assuming front wings are a given. It's rear wings I'd be interested to find out about. So hoping to see how the damage model works, because in the few races I did on the beta I didn't pick up any damage, so didn't get to experience the joy of driving with a knackered rear wing like I've done many times in 22. Another lap under safety car. Mrs. Cole into the pits this time around. He's going to give her the minor tyre advantage on those mediums. As Jake and Frenzy into the pits as well. It's going on to new mediums. So Thornicus back into the lead on the hard tyre. Whoever was the last for driving intensely slow to cause another lap. Not sure who was actually in the last, with everyone diving into the pits at the end of the lap. It was an Alpine, so that would have been Jake. I was too busy waffling about 23, try and kill some dead time under safety car. There we are, safety car in this lap, so Thornicus will back the pack up. First few laps, Thornicus could well find himself under a bit of pressure from those on the mediums behind. The hard should make it to the end. Mediums? Not 100% sure the mediums will do could do 16 laps. It'll just not be pretty at the end. If Thornicus does launch out the final corner, Elder straight on the attack of Loki down the inside. Looks to the inside of turn one, but Loki has it covered off. So Elder holding on to third, trying to line Loki up for an attack into turn two. Loki with his eyes fixed permanently on Thornicus in front. Sky staying with this battle as well, trying to pick up the pieces if anything happens in front. Panda's managed to open a gap over Mrs. Cole. Mrs. Cole with Jake and Frenzy for company again. Jake looking around the outside of turn 8 as they head up towards the chicane. I can't get my words out. Jake has got the move done on Mrs. Cole, and Frenzy as well follows through. So Frenzy up into 7th, getting the move done into turn 11. Nicely done by Frenzy there. Back to this battle at the front. Loki holding on to the back of Thornicus, looking for a move around Thornicus into turn 1, but can't find a way through. Will get a better drive on the exit. Can he attack down into turn 3? Looking around the outside of turn 3, side by side, give him the inside into 4, but Thornicus has that covered off. So Thornicus holding on this time around to first place. Whilst these two have been battling, it's allowed Elder to close in as well and pulled Scotty through. So his battle for first is 4 cars at the moment, as Loki around the outside of turn 8 gets the move done. So Loki up into the lead. Thornicus is going to be under pressure from Elder on the medium tyre as well. Scotty not far off. There's a little kick of oversteer on the exit of 11. Manages to keep it pointing the right way. Heading through 13 now, and 14 the final corner. Onto the start finish straight. DRS will be enabled this lap. So Elder picks up the fastest lap so far, 1:21.6. Looking around the outside of Thornicus, wheel to wheel through turn 3. It's going to give Elder the inside for 4. Thornicus not letting go though, holding on round the outside. Allows him to get back in front as they go through turn 5. Thornicus defending the middle of the track there. Making it easy for Elder as Elder looks to go around the outside as Frenzy and Jake trade places. Elder gets the move done into 9. And Thornicus running offline into 9 there has allowed Scotty through as well. So in the space of a couple of corners, Thornicus has lost 2 places, so now sitting in 4th. Jake and Frenzy battling it out further back. Swapped around, so Jake up into 6. Contact there between Jake and Panda, and I think Frenzy got caught up in that as well. Panda getting away without damage in that contact, but has lost quite a bit of ground. So Elder now in pursuit of Loki, who's managed to open a 2-second advantage out in front. Elder will be having to look in the mirrors in the DRS zones. He's got Scotty and Thornicus close behind. Mrs. Cole with Jake on the attack. Frenzy was into the pits after getting caught up in the contact between Jake and Panda. Smith is in, please kick out later. Oh, we'll kick the cat out. And go everyone, there's a bit of info for you. My cat needs kicking out when I go in the house. So Jake will have DRS on Mrs. Cole. I think it's too far back to make a move into turn 1. Keeping an eye on those deltas at the front. Elder starting to close up on Loki. Loki looks to have hammered his ERS down at 20%. Elder just on 35%. Scotty with a comfortable ERS advantage, almost double that of Elder's. Thornicus as well, running comfortably with the ERS. So Thornicus playing the long game here, waiting for the tyres to come into their maximum window. Dropping him off with the medium runners, but he'll be hoping those mediums start to drop off. So Elder, that's a 10th away from the DRS of Loki, which he'll be looking to get into as soon as possible to help him defend from Scotty behind. Scotty well within the DRS of Elder as they make their way down towards turn 3. Elder has got into the DRS window of Loki. Is Loki clearing data? No. Fairly bit of difference. 3 or 4% difference on the rears of Scotty and Elder. Scotty being able to look after his rears a little bit better than Elder at the moment. Elder is comfortably in the DRS. Can he use it to find his way past Loki? Loki deploying the ERS on corner exit as he tries to defend from the closing Elder. They are down to very similar ERS levels now. Scotty still has got 40%, nearly 50% advantage on the ERS over those in front. Clonicus dropping back a little further now. He's 3 seconds back on this battle for the lead. Jake and Mrs. Cole. Jake still not able to find a way past. Mrs. Cole, the queen of car placement when it comes to defending. Doesn't matter what car she's in, she can make it 3 lanes wide. In a bit of no man's land in 7th place, trying to recover after the earlier spin from the contact. He's taking a little bit of time out of Jake and Mrs. Cole. Quite a bit of work to do with only 8 laps to go. Elder is right on the back of Loki now as we head through turn 3. Scotty just behind, waiting to try and take advantage if there's any incident ahead. I think the mediums will get to the end fairly comfortably with 8 laps to go. So they're going to be probably hitting the mid 60% mark. With both Elder and Scotty with the DRS. Gaining too much down that run though with the DRS, only half a tenth. So Loki's got his car set up for good straight line speed. As we come on to the start finish straight again, DRS will be open. Only gaining a little at the end, actually lost out a bit at the start of the DRS. So identical ERS available for Loki and Elder. Scotty still sitting around the 65-70% mark. I wonder if Scotty's just waiting, biding his time to then really push in the last couple of laps, find a way through and clear the DRS. Jake still not able to find his way past Mrs. Carl. So a good team result at the moment for the Red Bulls. Starting to close the gap a little over this last lap. It's back down to 3.8. 3.9 as I say, 3.8. Elder on the attack into turn 1. Can't get it done there. Can he find anything out of turn 2? So head towards turn 3. Loki looks to have his defence covered off. I wonder if he's running less downforce to get the best straight line speed he can. Elder with a fractional advantage on the ERS as they come out of turn 10, heading down towards turn 11. Elder looking up the inside into 11, using that DRS. But Loki managing to get a better drive out of the corner. Elder running a little wide and onto the grass, but battling into the final corner. Elder does get in front, and I think he'll have the DRS as well, so this is going to help him pull away. He'll have the DRS down the run towards turn 3 as well. It's going to put Loki under pressure from Scotty. Scotty not able to capitalise though. So Scotty stays in 3rd place. Elder up into the lead and pushing hard to try and break that DRS. Just try and get clear of the DRS of Loki. Leave Loki giving DRS to Scotty, so Loki's got to concentrate on defending behind. Well, that's been happening. Cornicus has found 6/10 on this lead group. 5 laps to go. He needs to find 6/10 a lap to get into this battle. Loki closing on Elder again with the DRS though. I think Loki is running a lower downforce setting, which gives him a straight line speed advantage. He's definitely gaining a lot more on Elder than Elder could on him with the DRS. And he is deploying right down to 3% on his battery. Elder with a marginal advantage there. Elder would be hoping that Scotty's going to start deploying his battery and putting Loki under pressure. Well, this has taken 3/10 out of this lap so far. So I'd say he's listening, he knows what he needs to do. He needs to push to try and close up. So when penalties come into play, Scotty and Thornicus sitting on the same amount of penalties at the moment. Loki and Elder keeping it clean at the moment. So I won't need to worry about penalties affecting the end result for those guys. In fact, as it stands, the penalties won't affect anyone's finishing position at the moment. Loki is closer this time around, has got the DRS. Very close to the back of Elder as they go through turn 3. Elder getting a better drive out of 3. Let's him open that gap back up to half a second. Definitely does make me think Loki is running a low downforce setting. He's losing time through the middle sector and coming under pressure from Scotty. Scotty around the outside of turn 8. As they head up towards turn 9. That Scotty through and into second place and almost trying to find a way through on Elder as they run through turn 10. Scotty dives up the inside into turn 11 using that DRS, gets the better drive, and that's going to compromise Elder as well. So Elder losing out to Loki. Loki running wide through turn 12. A bit of contact side by side there through turn 13. Elder ran wide, Loki had half the spin. That's allowed Scotty to open nearly 2 seconds, so Scotty needs to find a second in the next lap. Second, 1.2 to clear his penalty. Elder's not going to be in the DRS, so he isn't going to have that to defend from Loki, and we've seen how quick Loki can gain with the DRS. While all of that's been going on, Thornicus is now only 1.1 off the back of Loki as well. So Thornicus pushing hard to try and get position on track. With that 3-second penalty for Thornicus, it's going to be hard done by to get past as Loki picks up a 3-second penalty. So Elder and Panda, the only drivers currently without penalties. Scotty has opened that lead in front to 2.5 seconds, so just half a second to find in the next couple of laps, and that'll be Scotty's win. Can Elder push? He's got the ERS advantage over Scotty. He needs to try and close that gap up. He also needs to be watching his mirrors for Loki and Thornicus on the attack from behind. If he can keep that gap to Scotty at under 3 seconds, so he doesn't need to defend too hard from those behind, because they're both carrying penalties as well. This is really the only battle. We will give everyone a little bit of screen time on the last couple of laps. Frenzy back into the pits. Okay, currently running in 7th. He's got 4 seconds to find to Panda. Mrs. Cole in a comfortable 5th position. Elder and Scotty very similar on the ERS. Loki going to be coming under pressure from Thornicus. I'm sure Thornicus's hards will be in a better position than the mediums now. Can Thornicus find his way past with the DRS down the start finish straight, going down to the outside of turn 1. This will put him on the inside for 2. Loki covers that off, heading down towards turn 3, both with the DRS. Thornicus looking around the outside. Is going to put him on the inside for 4. He gets the move done between 3 and 4. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. So Thornicus back up into 5th, and Loki round on the exit. Manages to keep it out of the wall. Recovers the car, but loses a position to Mrs. Cole. So Mrs. Cole up into 4th. Scotty still out in front. It needs to find a quarter of a second over sector 3 to hold on to the win. Elder pushing, absolutely annihilating his ERS, trying to close that gap down. It is bouncing backwards and forwards over the 3 second mark. We're not going to know until we cross the line. Scotty out of the final corner now. ERS full deploy as he runs to the line. He's going to absolutely deplete his battery. Elder 0.04 of a second. That's all there was in it when the penalty comes into effect. So Scotty takes the win. Elder just so close, but takes second place. A great second place from Elder. Shawnicus holds on to take third place. Great drive from Shawnicus at the end there. Mrs. Cole will pick up fourth place. Loki takes fifth. Panda gets sixth. Jake takes seventh. We're just waiting for Frenzy to cross the line and take eighth place. So considering there weren't many drivers here tonight, that was actually a really good race. A great battle at the front. It's 4 cars long for the majority of the race. Frenzy, I think, stealing the fastest lap at the end there as well. Bring PN F123. I'm assuming that's bring on F123. Yes, Hobo. I think everyone is just desperate for 23 to come out. Elder should have won that if not for Loki being too aggressive. Yeah, the contact round turn 13, I think that cost you both time there. If that hadn't happened, you'd have been on the back of Scotty and it would have been a lot closer at the end. Loki definitely had the advantage in straight line speed over you though. You weren't really gaining with the DRS, and when roles were reversed, yeah, you were losing time behind. It's the annoying thing with setups on this. It's a balancing act between drivability in the corners and just outright pace in the straight line, in the straights. There we have confirmation. Scotty takes the win. I think that's his first win this season in... Yep, that's Scotty's first win and his best result. Well, clearly it's his first win of the season in TTFL. So Elder picks up second, Shawnicus in third, Mrs. Carl in fourth, Loki in fifth, Panda in sixth, Jake in seventh, Frenzy in eighth with the fastest lap, and Hobo was our only DNF. So thank you everyone for watching, and that's the one I want. So I'll be back for 10:30. I've got over an hour off. Woohoo! So yeah, I'll be back in just over an hour and a quarter for Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 tonight. They are at France. So if you want to have a headache and watch Paul Ricard, which confuses me, it's being added into 23 as a fan favourite. Don't know many drivers that actually like the track. Unless you turn rules off and you can just straight line everything, it's not the nicest of tracks to drive. But we'll let Cody's think it is. So yep, I'll be back for that at 10:30, and then on Saturday the F2SL League are at this week. Where is the calendar for F2? There we are. Oh, they were at Austria. So Austria for F2 this weekend. Then Monday, Hobo will be hosting the GP1 Azerbaijan Sprint, and you'll have my driver POV, so that's possibly see me DNF twice, although if Jack overtakes the safety car and gets disqualified, I should be on for points, but we will see. Then Tuesday and Wednesday you've got Hobo with the DXC FIFA Chairman Premier League, and then we're back on Friday for TTFL. Where are you off to next week? No, wrong one. That one. You're at Baku next week as well. So quite a bit of Baku running for those that are in RPR and TTFL. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone who's been in the chat. Thank you T. Thank you Elder. Even though you're supposed to be driving, you could really concentrate on that and not being in the chat. Thank you, Hobo, and Chronicus as well. And I will catch you all at 10:30 if you stick around. If not, I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.